Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Anah. The title of this video is You Don't Know What's Going On, but the prophets are here to tell you. Something like that. I got pulled up here at GMS Samak of Miami camp, and I was watching his video, and you can go to his page and get all this information, subscribe and be edified. And he was going into basically the fact that these UN troops, or these the JJs, Amalek, the small hats over there in Israel fired upon UN soldiers, which is a big deal. And it made me go into other articles and things like that and actually search it up and see what's going on. And I found some other things on it. So this is just basically another reason why you know, World War III is going to happen, and the least of the flock is drawing them out. So anyway, like I said, inspiration of my video basically came from this brother's video. Subscribe and be edified. You know, and check it out. Like I said, all the information is there. So anyway, so in this video, what I'll be going to is a few things of why, and we can see that the least of the flock is basically drawing out Babylon the Great, and the nations are mad. The people are upset about what Israel is doing, and they're calling on Babylon in many cases to stop it. So I'll start with this article here, and that article is like I said, you can go watch your brother's page and check it out. Because I could have added that article simply to my video, but I just decided to go on different video articles anyway. Those soldiers are firing upon UN soldiers, which I didn't, those soldiers are firing on UN soldiers, which is a big deal. Maybe I should actually get the article. All right. Okay, and this is one I looked at too. I was looking at this one. So basically, in that video that the brother posted was Israel firing upon UN soldiers. And this is just after the peace assembly or the general assembly about the New World Order Pact, and the UN members walking out on Benjamin Netanyahu as he spoke, and now this man is firing weapons at them. Here's some stuff here.
Quarters in Naqoura. Israel has been. A UN peacekeeping mission in Lebanon says Israeli forces fired on its positions on Wednesday and Thursday. The United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, or UNIFIL, says two of its peacekeepers were injured when an Israeli tank fired at its main headquarters in Naqoura. Israel has been pursuing a widening offensive against Hezbollah in that area. A UN source said there were no casualties in two other incidents. UNIFIL spokesperson Andrea Tenenti.
This is highly concerning, not only because peacekeepers are there, but because this was done by, most probably a deliberate attack against our troops, which is a violation or a grave violation of international humanitarian law.
Italy has protested to Israel over the incident. Its defense minister called it illegal and a possible war crime.
We asked for the reason why these shots were fired, and we expected to know them officially. The ambassador was not able to provide us with explanations.
Israel has warned Lebanese civilians not to return to homes in the south as it presses on with its assault. On Thursday night,
So basically, as you can see, Israel does not care. They're not abiding to any of the rules. And the scripture says in Isaiah 49:11 that their inward thought is that they will continue to generations. And you can't be committing war crimes and disregarding laws and things like that and expect it's not Isaiah 49. What is it? Let me see. Jeremiah 49. I forgot where the scripture is at. All right, so it's Psalms 49:11. You can't be committing war crimes and disregarding laws and things like that and trying to continue you know, forever basically. And that's why the part of the reason why these nations are upset, because they're saying, well, how can we continue building and we have people that's not abiding by the law, people that don't care about the laws that we're establishing or the peace that we're trying to establish, right? Because once again, this is days after, weeks after, or whatever the case be, after this general assembly, this pact assembly for the UN for the future. Once again, when Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, took the stage, different UN members walked out on him. So there were already, basically disagreements about what he's about. And now he fired upon UN peace soldiers. So that further damaged the ties, and basically people are calling on Babylon the Great, to put a stop to this madness, and that's going to ultimately end up to these EU nations, these UN nations hating the whore, which is Babylon the Great, and aligning with Russia, to go ahead and shoot missiles at Babylon the Great in Israel, because currently right now what's been established is war. So we'll get into all of that. You don't know what's going on. The prophets are here to tell you. You don't understand. So we just get Ezekiel 38. It says prophecy about Gog and the future invasion of Israel. So what's happening right now is the alignment of war. These nations are picking sides, and Israel, being the little brother of Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America, they are on a war page and going rampant, and causing America to be drawn in to their fight, which will ultimately bring about World War III, because now everyone is getting involved. Superpowers, Russia, America, then you have Israel, and all Israel proxy wars with Iran, and these different surrounding areas. This is Ezekiel 38:1. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh Bahashmi Yahushua came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him." Right? So the prophets are here letting everyone know their judgments, letting everyone know, what their role is and what they're doing, right? Because the world is listening to the men of the Lord, right? Even uh, Russian President Vladimir Putin at one point stated that America has their own problems within, their country right now. And he was pointing to the Israelites, the Great Awakening that took place pursuant to Ezekiel 37. Us rising up on our feet with this knowledge. He even opened up his vault and showed the so-called black images, of the true leaders, the true prophets, the true men of the Lord, right? Going back to the Byzantine Empire and things like that they wanted to bury because they buried history. Now, what did I want from over here? I forgot what I wanted. Let me just go back to this. Ezekiel 38:1, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against it." Oh, I wanted Jeremiah. I believe it's 28:8. This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." Right? So the men of the Lord, the prophets, all of us, the ones that's out here doing the do, they prophesied of this thing, and now the prophets are back, doing the same thing. It says, "The prophets which prophesied of peace when of the the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shai have truly sent him." Right? So we prophesy of all these different things. And right now, just like the scriptures say, there's a time and place for everything: a time for peace, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time for war. Right? We're in a time of war because Yahweh Shai is on the way, right, to destroy this place. Right? The sins of the world has reached up to the heavens. Right? The Most High is extremely upset. So Ezekiel 38:3. It says, "And say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Basmiel Shai," excuse me, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, right? And this Gog is Russia, in the land of Russia, right? If you get a ancient map or Bible map, if you search it up on Google, excuse me, if you search it up on Google, it'll show you Gog and Magog over there and where Russia is today, right? Because these are the facts of Meshach and Tubal. That's going into um, Turkey. It says, and I will turn Ezekiel 38:4. I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. I will bring thee forth. Right. This is going to the fact that Russia, the SSUR, or it was brought down, but now it's coming back, to do the Lord's bidding. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar and of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Once again, you get a map, which I did a video. You can search my page. I believe it's called something along the lines of Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel chapter 38. The video's there, and I got the map pulled up and everything. You can go to it, right? It says, be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So what's happening is, these different nations are aligning themselves with Russia, right? And just like I show in the video right now, Italy is, concerned about why are you shooting, missiles at these UN soldiers? So these different places are upset, with Israel right now, which is tied to Babylon the Great, because Babylon the Great will always be there to help their little brother, right? Ezekiel 38:8, it says, and after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is it brought forth other nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them, right? So this is talking about the land of Israel, right? Because they were currently always at war, and they're basically protected by Babylon the Great, so Russia is going to come against them, and also Babylon the Great. It says, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy band, and many people with thee. So all these many, you looking, if you search up Google right now, you have something called BRICS Nation. BRICS Nation is forming, and what's heading that, who's heading that is Russia. So these different countries are aligning themselves with Russia. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shai, it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, right? So these different nations, Togomar, Turkey, and all these different, Persia, Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, all of these different peoples joining with Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to come against Israel, right? And what's going to cause that is, once again, Israel dragging Babylon the Great there, and there's, you can already see that Babylon the Great is sending warship after warship over there, troop. They're sending, jets over there. Everything they got, they're sending over there for a purpose, and that's the Lord's purpose, right? All right, so I'm over here. It says, Psalms 49:11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? So Israel doing what they're doing is having these different nations upset, because they're thinking that they're going to continue forever. They're thinking of their future generations, their children, and things like that. For whatever reason, but because of the controversy of the Israelites, the Most High Yahweh Bashmiah Shai is about to visit this place, right? He's going to send Yahweh Shai to destroy their armies and put these heathens into slavery, right? Just like we were in slavery. So, UN peacekeepers in Lebanon say we are staying despite Israel attacks, right? So they're, they got attacked, but for whatever reason, they're going to stay there. United Nations peacekeepers are determined to remain at their posts in southern Lebanon. The force's spokesperson said on Thursday, despite Israeli attacks in recent days, they have wounded UN personnel and prompted international alarm. Right now, we're just reading this article, and this is all we got. But as you've seen that video, what Italy is saying, like, yo, we wanted an official statement, and they gave us none. So this international alarm is big. is huge. We can't really see the impact of it as yet, but eventually we will see how upset these individuals are. It says, Adriana or Andrea said Israeli attacks on the peacekeeping force known as, or that guy, I don't really know, it's some random heathen, whatever. It said Israeli attacks on the peacekeeping force known as UNIFIL with tank shells and small arms fire had left 2 wounded members in hospital and knocked out some of their monitoring capabilities on Wednesday and Thursday. So Israel is on a warpath. It says definitely this is probably one of the most serious events or incidents that we've been witnessing in the last 12 months. Right, so they're saying, hey, this is pretty big. Uh, it says the force's 50 contributing countries had agreed on. So basically, that attack, uh, you just attacked 50 countries basically. Israel just attacked 50 countries. Had agreed on Thursday because I don't believe Israel is even a part of the UN or NATO. Sorry. It says the force's 50 contributing countries had agreed on Thursday to keep deploying more than 10,400 peacekeepers between, you know, uh, Lathina River in the north and the UN recognized boundary between Lebanon and Israel known as the Blue Line in the south. And like I said, their brother went into that. What is the Blue Line and all of that? So you can go check that video over there. You know, it says we are there because the UN Security Council has asked us to be. So these are the soldiers that got attacked. So we are staying until the situation becomes impossible for us to operate. You know, it says Israeli troops also fired at a nearby position, damaging vehicles and communication system, and on Wednesday deliberately fired at and disabled cameras monitoring the area, the peacekeepers force said in a statement. So they're saying, yeah, we're getting attacked and they're doing it on purpose, right? So you can imagine how upset these different nations are. Let's see what we got over here. All right, so it says exclusive stop Israel from bombing Iran oil sites. Gulf states urge U.S. So these different countries are urging U.S. Babylon the Great to stop Israel from doing what they're doing, because at the same time, Babylon the Great is supplying them with missiles and different things that they're using to attack the different people around, because they're helping them, and the nations don't like that. It says Gulf states lobby Washington to press Israel for restraint. Iran warns of severe fallout if Israel uses Gulf airspace. Gulf states refuse Israeli overflights or missile passage. So now they're saying you can't even come through our lands. It says Gulf states are lobbying Washington to stop Israel from attacking Iran's oil sites because they are concerned their own oil facilities could come under fire from Tehran's proxies if the conflict escalates. And I mean that's all it has been doing. That's all it's been doing, escalating. 3 Gulf sources told Reuters. You know, it says Israel has promised Iran will pay for its missile attack last week, while Tehran has said any retaliation would be met with vast destruction, raising fears of a wider war in the region that could suck in the United States. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. And the scriptures say so, and it seems like these people are even thinking about it. They're like, this is getting out of control, it's escalating, this could draw in the United States, and then this could draw in Russia, and then this could draw in World War III, which is going to happen. So measure the time diligently in itself and repent, basically. It says over 100 Israeli soldiers say Netanyahu has crossed a red line. So now of his own men, of his own soldiers that are fighting right now, the ones destroying UN peacekeepers are saying, we're doing, we're pushing it now. It says over 100 Israeli soldiers have threatened to stop fighting in Gaza if the government does not seek a hostage release deal, according to reports. The Israeli news outlet reported that a group of 130 troops warned that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had crossed a red line and that continuing the war would endanger lives. You got Bill Gates over there. Anyway, it comes as the Israeli Prime Minister vowed to keep fighting until his country secure a total victory over Hamas and the return of all captives. Okay, so the troops said for some of us the red line has already been crossed, and for others it is rapidly approaching. It's a lot of a lot of red lines are being set on sides. Israeli, Russia is talking about red lines. Everyone's on edge, right? Things are escalating. It says for some of us the red line has already been crossed, and for others it is rapidly approaching. The day when, with broken hearts, we will start reporting for service. It says the group of 130 IDF soldiers include both regular and reserve troops, some of whom have served in Israel's war on Gaza since last year's October 7 attacks. So, it's getting to the point where, like, well, we're killing and killing and killing, and no agreements has been made. And I mean, ultimately, you guys are at war. They're at war. They're just gonna keep fighting anyway. We got Revelation 17 and 14. Matter of fact, let me see, is it Jeremiah 49 or it's probably Jeremiah 50 and like 20. Nope, let me see, probably 49. Let me, all right, let me get my charger real quick, 1 second. All right, we have Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shai, that he have taken against Edom in his purposes that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right, and this is basically talking about the total destruction that's going to be coming upon Babylon the Great, and also land of Israel, and least of the flock is being Israel, right? And just like the brother went over in his video, this place was set up as young. That's what lease, is going to. Their young is either 1948ers, is when their nation or their, their area, their country, the Israel became a state and all of that in 1948, and we're here in 2024, right? So they're the least, the youngest of the flock, right? Will draw out Babylon the Great to war, and that's exactly what's happening because of they're on this war page, right? And you can clearly see this. Revelation 17 and 4, it says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, right? So this is just going to the fact that these different nations are gathering. We start at 12. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest, right? So this is just going to a vision that John, the Revelator is seeing. It says, Revelation 17 and 12, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast, right? And the beast is going into Babylon the Great here in this time, right? And the kings that have received no power as yet is going into these NATO nations, right? EU, NATO. It says, these have one mind and shall give their power and their strength unto the beast, right? So these people are aligned with Babylon the Great. But here, towards the end, according to prophecy, Ezekiel 38, like I just mentioned, these different people are beginning to hate Babylon the Great, right? And switching sides to go over to Russia, right? And they're also upset about how Babylon the Great, United States of America, and Israel are conducting, themselves and, the future plans for their kingdom, their world, with basically people committing war crimes and breaking laws, and there's no justice, they seem to say. Revelation 17 and 14, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and Kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, right? So basically, this is, you can get 2nd Ezra chapter 13, with Yahushua coming to destroy these places, and the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Lord's judgment over there in the land of Israel, right? The Levant region over there where everything is taking place right now. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. This is the point I wanted. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So basically, these 10 horns, which are giving their power unto the beast, which is Babylon the Great. Like I said, the EU, NATO nations, a part of Esau Edom's beast system, they shall hate Esau Edom, and we're seeing reasons of why they're hating them, because they're blaming, Babylon the Great for the things that Israel is doing, because Babylon the Great is supplying them with missiles and different things, and they're not, basically, and that's why if you get because Esau Edom has set himself himself up as a savior, and that shining light to the nations, and this fucking America the Great, and come here and we're so holy and all of this bullshit, right? That they pushed out. But people are seeing now, Habakkuk 2:16, it says, thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let the foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Right? So they like, bro, y'all so holy, y'all so this, y'all the peace of the world, y'all can do all this, y'all everywhere. Stop the madness from happening. And right now they're just sitting back, allowing it to happen. And that's why these people are beginning to hate Babylon the Great. Right? What the scriptures say. Um, I'm thinking about so much scriptures right now. Basically, the cup. Let me see. Let me see. Get my phone. 1 second. Just bear with me. Okay. So, all right. So this, I mean, it's in the same thing. It's other precepts too, but I'll just get this one since I'm already there. Well, I deleted it. All right, so yeah, Habakkuk. Let's get Habakkuk 2:8. It says, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein." Right, and this is going into Esau, Edom, right? That man of sin. So going down, so the nations are mad. That's the scripture I was wanted. So I'll get this, and I'll look that up real quick. It says, "Therefore the nations are mad." Maybe it's here too. All right, that's Jeremiah 51:7. We'll pull that up real quick. So this is Habakkuk 2:15. So yeah, like I was saying, these people are looking to Babylon the Great to do something about this, but this man's the fucking devil, right? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. This man don't give a fuck, and pursuant to Revelations 12:12, he got a short time, and he's moving with quickness, right, to try to establish, what he needs to establish, which is this new world order. And in order to do that, this man got to bring chaos, right? You go back to the Georgia Guidestones. he want population below 500 million anyway, right? So the more deaths for him is the better, because he feel like that he has a better opportunity to establish what he needs to establish. Better control of the people. You can't really control too much people with guns, right? Habakkuk 2:15, it says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord right hand, which is Yahweh Basmial Shai, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory," right? So, Babylon, was gloriful and all of that, but all of that is over with. It's Jeremiah 51:7. All right, let me start at 6. It's Jeremiah 51:6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon." And how can we, the hopeful elect, do that? By turning to the Lord, and keeping the commandments, standing in the spirit by, getting to the Bible, excuse me, helping the ministry, helping the brothers any way you can, just basically going to the Lord, and doing the work. Jeremiah 51:6, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul," right? And that's what the prophets are here to do, the men of the Lord, right? To deliver men, to search out the sheep, feed the sheep. It says, "Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance." Yahweh Bashmiah Shai. He will render unto her a recompense, right? Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So Babylon the Great, that's why it's so great. Going back to Habakkuk 2:16, that's why this shameful spewing is about to be put on them, because the Most High rose Babylon all the way to the top just to bring them down, right? If you going into Revelations, that's what the scriptures are saying. Alas, that great city, is brought down. Basically, people are gonna be like, damn. And a major part of that is because Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. The Most High made Babylon so great, other nations were able to come here and get rich off Babylon the Great. Jeremiah 51:7 says, "Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, Yahweh Bashmial Shai, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad." Right? Yeah, Babylon the Great. Going to Revelations 20:7, Babylon the Great went out to deceive the nations, and just deceive the nations, and build herself up as this great person. It says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed." But nah, she can't be healed, right? So we're over here. So Revelation 17:14, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them." I think I was over here. Let me get back over here. Yeah, I read this already. Let me just read this. Revelation 17:14, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful." And that's we, the hopeful elect. It says, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will." So, the Most High has put it in the hearts of these different nations to, fulfill his will. And that was to be joined unto Babylon the Great, right? And also to turn on Babylon the Great. It says, "For Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast." Excuse me. Yo, I don't know what it is. It's like you could not have no problems, but as soon as you get to the word, all of a sudden you just coughing, and I don't know. It says, unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled." Revelation 17:18, it says, "And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." Right, so that's Babylon the Great. And these different nations are joined to Babylon the Great, and will turn on Babylon the Great for the Lord's purpose. Right? Once again, so these shall hate the whore. And what I got right here, let me get Obadiah. This is Obadiah 1:6. It says, Obadiah 1 and 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding him, right? And that's going to these different EU nations, right? Because even as we speak, what's happening? People are switching sides. Deals are being made. People are talking amongst themselves about basically what are they going to do, and that's regarding basically the downfall of Babylon the Great that we can see happening, and the uprising of the BRICS nation. So there you go. Then we got Psalms 83. So this did not work, or it worked for a short period of time, but now the Most High have awoken us. It says Psalms 83 and 1, keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, right? And then it goes into all these different nations that are now warring with each other at this great end of the nations, right? Matter of fact, let me see something. Um, Alright, just give me a second. Okay, right here. No, that's not it. Alright, so I'm gonna get Revelations 11 and 15. Right, because Yahushua is coming, man. 11 and 15, it says, and the seventh angel sounded, and there was great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his anointed, and he shall reign over, and he shall reign forever and ever, right? So Yahushua is coming to set up his kingdom, right? To take the kingdoms away and set up his kingdom. And the Most High is bringing these nations together for that war. This is Isaiah 34 and 1, right? So all this leads to, Babylon the Great, Israel being destroyed, the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Lord's judgment, over there in the Levant region. Isaiah 34 and 1, it says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them, he have delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And what's a part of the Lord's sword? Get that. Where's my phone? I lost my phone. 1 second. Created a Smith. Isaiah 54 and 16. And that's just the nuclear missiles. It says, behold, Isaiah 54 and 16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. Right, and that's those nuclear missiles. That's why if you search up World War III right now, everyone's talking about that nuclear. And I was just watching Jacob Barak, I think it was Jacob Barak too, or one of those different channels where they was going into it, you know. So he was something about World War III or nuclear war or something. So let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, this was it right here. Yeah, so Russia says nuclear 5 states to meet soon in New York. So anyway, subscribe and be edified. That's basically what he went into a meeting about nuclear, war. And shoot, these heathen, these people, they're watching too. The world is watching. Prophets are here. So anyway, Isaiah 33:4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Right, Esau, Edom. It says the sword of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of kidneys and rams. For the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall have a sacrifice in Basra, which is a town or a city of Babylon the Great. Right, and now we're talking about modern day Babylon the Great, USA, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, right, the Edomites. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, the Lord being Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, right? And of the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion, right? So these fucking devils got a lot to pay for, right? Because even to this day, these niggas is touching the apple of the Most High's eye, right? His chosen, his select, his holy treasure, Deuteronomy 7:6, right? So the Most High is very upset about that. So he's sending Yahweh Shai to destroy these people. Anyway, Lord willing, you were edified from this video. I'll say shalom to those for the leg, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.